Market research is a vital part of any marketer's success. It's what separates the haves from the have-nots and can be the difference between a negative 50% ROI and a plus 300% ROI campaign. We will be giving you our exact methods to do your market research like the very best multimillionaire marketers out there. Before we get into that, we just want you guys to understand how Facebook and Instagram actually decide which ads to show people. Well, they want to show people ads from businesses that are interesting and relevant to them. And to do that, they use information about what these people do on Facebook and Instagram and on third-party sites and apps, meaning pretty much anything they do on the internet at all. For example, they might see ads based on people they follow and things they like on Instagram, your information and interests on Facebook, and the websites and apps that you visit. So what Facebook and Instagram do is they will lump all of the things that you actually visit on the websites that you go to into an interest category. And they will show those interests in the targeting platform for us marketers to select when we're targeting people. All of these interests, demographics, and everything else are going to be in your Facebook suggestions. Facebook suggestions helps you find more natural targets related to the people that are relevant to your offer. So Facebook's made it super easy to laser target your potential buyers by having suggestions. It's as easy as typing in an idea and Facebook will automatically pull a bunch of options for you to choose from. The key is to choose the ones that are as closely related to your offer as possible. If you enter a keyword and cannot find one that you think resonates with your audience, all you have to do is plug in another keyword and give it a go. Audience Insights, on the other hand, helps you find more unnatural targets related to people that are relevant to your offer. Audience Insights is a free tool on Facebook designed to help marketers learn more about their target audiences, including aggregate information about geography, demographics, purchase behavior, and more. This data allows you to compare characteristics of your target audience with the overall Facebook population to find out what's unique about them. Facebook's Audience Insights is one of the best tools you can have at your disposal when looking for unnatural targets. It essentially allows you to learn about a specific audience before risking your budget or even targeting them at all. It works by mining available Facebook data and showing you exactly who your target market is based on people who already like certain pages. Now, what are natural and unnatural targets? Natural targets are directly related targets to your audience using Facebook suggestions. So that would be interests, demographics, and behaviors. Unnatural targets are targets that are related but are not exactly precise and are usually used for scaling, and they're found in Audience Insights. In this lesson, we're going to give you a market research game plan sheet. What that sheet is going to help you do is it's going to help you create a list of natural and unnatural targets from your market research. You can then make sure that you're targeting enough different types of interests, demographics, and behaviors, as well as unnatural targets, so that you can make sure that you're not just looking in the same place over and over and over. And this is going to make sure that your pixel seasons really nicely, really evenly, and ensures that you're not just going to be wasting your money targeting the same stuff all the time, like a lot of newbie marketers end up doing. Now let's talk about targeting for a second. First, we're going to start with age. So a lot of people wonder, what age do I actually target on Facebook when I'm trying to find my audience? Well, a couple tips are, if you target people who are at least 22 years old, you'll know that they actually have some purchase power, right? You can get a credit card when you're 18, but chances are when you're 18, your limit's not going to be very high and you're not going to be spending too much money on that card because A, you don't make any money at 18, and B, you just don't have very high of a limit. Now, of course, there's exceptions to the rule. There are 18-year-old entrepreneurs who, make some pretty decent money, but they're definitely the exception to the rule. So one thing that we like to do is just shave off those 4 years and just kind of start at 22. Another thing you're going to want to do is take the data from your market research and locate the specific age group that your offer appeals to, and you can just target that age group. Or you can simply split test until you find which age groups are purchasing the most. We like to do a two-prong approach and just take our best guess from our market research and just try and hit that age group that's going to convert the best with our offer. And we do that while we're split testing different age groups just to see if one will perform better than what we actually thought. Which gender should you target? This is really specific to your offer. Some offers obviously don't appeal to both men and women. Usually, offers are targeted to only men or only women. So, obviously, you're going to want to eliminate the gender that it doesn't appeal to. But for those offers that do fit for both men and women, you're going to want to leave both options on because it just gives your pixel more to work with and therefore will get you better results in the long term. What about locations? Well, there are 5 core English speaking countries that convert extremely well. There's the United States, United Kingdom, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand. These countries are all first world countries. A lot of people make a lot of money in these countries and just spend a lot of money in general. So, online offers appeal to these countries and they just buy a lot. So, a good starting point is to be targeting these 5 countries right off the hop, and you'll get some really good results that way. A lot of marketers ignore the latter 4 countries and they just target the United States. So there's a bunch of really juicy traffic that not too many people are actually hitting in the UK, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand. But what about other countries? Well, a strategy that we use is to go worldwide and exclude the United States. So that's just because our pixels tend to spend the most money in the USA because it knows that there's a lot of buyers in the US. But does that mean there's no buyers in countries like Germany, France, South Africa, India, and more? Of course not. So, what we like to do is we'll exclude the United States, and sometimes we'll find that the audience excluding the US performs much, much better than just targeting the US. So, what else can you target? There's demographics, interests, behaviors, and there's more categories within those categories. There's actually just a ton. So, in order to discover these targetings, what you're going to want to do is click on the Browse button beside Suggestions, and then you can explore it for yourself. These are the 4 steps that we take when we approach our targeting. Number 1 is doing natural targets. Number 2, unnatural targets. Number 3, we build lookalikes. And number 4, we just go broad. As a general rule, we like to start with natural targets. So natural targets are dialed in audiences that are closely related to your niche. If you find some smaller natural target audiences, you might want to stack them with multiple other natural target interests just so you get enough reach to actually be able to spend. Natural targets can be very specific because they're exactly directly related to what you're targeting. For example, if you're targeting for a dating offer, you can simply type in dating. It doesn't get more specific than that. These are usually really high converting and they're pretty much called natural targets for a reason. But don't forget unnatural targets. Unnatural targets are unexpected audiences related to your niche. For example, that would be a French nail boutique that nobody's ever heard of, but it seems to be really popular for women who are into the romance interest. That's just an example. But the point I'm trying to make is nobody would think of actually targeting that little French nail boutique when they're looking to sell a woman on a dating offer. So, because of this reason, there's not very much competition in the auction and you can really clean up shop. Unnatural targets are mostly used for scaling up and to season your pixel optimally. Those two go hand in hand because if you create a one-dimensional pixel by just hitting natural targets, your results are going to be pretty average when you're scaling. And honestly, this is how a lot of marketers end up losing money when they start scaling. And the reason is because most marketers do not hit the unnatural targets. Lookalike audiences are unique to Facebook. How you get a lookalike audience is you would create a custom audience from your buyers list or other events that have happened on the website of your offer. What you would do then is create audiences that are extremely similar to those buyers. These are laser targeted audiences because you're telling Facebook to create an audience that is exactly like people who are already buying your product. This is not something that we're going to teach you in this module because in order to have good lookalike audiences, you're going to need to build up your custom audiences first with a bunch of good data from purchases. And then there's broad targeting. Broad targeting is a strategy that works really good if your pixel is seasoned. So that means once you've got between 1 to 5,000 purchases, then you can start just going broad, and broad means any or all geos at the same time. So that would mean you just type worldwide into the search field and just target the entire world. You would go 18 to 65 plus, so no age restriction, and only men or only women or both, and automatic placements, meaning you're really not restricting the pixel at all because you trust it to know exactly who your buyers are. It's not going to enter auctions that you don't want it to enter anyway, And really, the more that you restrict a seasoned pixel by telling it where to look, the worse your results tend to get. We're going to go in over the shoulder and explain all of our targeting and all of our market research in great deal to you in this lesson.